Hello and welcome back everyone to Slurpathon. I am really excited for our next run here. We are going to be doing Bucky O'Hare Hard mode, and if you have not seen this run or seen this game, you are in for a treat. It is relentless and it is an incredibly exciting run with some killer tunes and just it's a treat. It's a really cool game, and I hope that you get excited for this. And we have Junkyard Dave running it.
Welcome.
How are you?
Good. For the most part.
Slightly terrified.
Yeah. If we get past Blue Planet, then I'm good. Until then, it's like a nerve ball. So.
Okay, well, wonderful. I'll let you take it over and get started with your run whenever it is that you'd like.
Awesome. Well, welcome on in, chat. Hello. Really quickly, all I want to explain is this is Bucky. This is a Konami platformer. As you can see, Bucky gets hurt quite liberally, but he has a very decent health bar here. And in hard mode, everything kills you in a hit. So we run hard mode. It is a very fun game. Very underrated NES platform. Impossible to commentate and talk while doing this. But we'll try. So we'll see how this goes. So I will just get right into it. The hardest part of hard mode is, I think, spelling this hard thing. There's been times where I spelled like "gah" or some other stuff. So yeah, I'll say 3, 2, 1, go. So 3, 2, 1, go. So as I said, this is Bucky hard mode. This is a phenomenally good NES game. Probably one of my favorite NES speedruns. Probably one of my favorite NES platformers. Hard mode isn't supposed to be like a hard mode. It was actually an anti-piracy mode. If you were one of those people back then that like copied video games to like floppy disks, you would actually trigger hard mode by default. So in hard mode, anything that can damage Bucky will automatically kill him. There's nothing that's a 2-hit KO. So this is where it gets a little bit dicey because talking and playing this game is actually impossible. But it really makes me wonder because I like the developers, how they developed like some of these screens. I think some of them have doubled up as like anti-piracy screens, and some of them are like, they make your life pretty brutal in casual, like when you're playing it casually, but in hard mode it's like infinitely worse. So one of those screens is on the green planet, and you'll see that coming up. It's like a laser ship section. So the good thing about hard mode is there's very little RNG. It's all execution. So we shouldn't die. Well, I mean, actually we're gonna die. If chat wants to take guesses. I think the least amount of times I've died was 4 in an entire run. So there are some sections that are just bad, but I think my PB has 4 or 5 deaths or something like that in there. But this screen in particular is kind of ridiculous. You have to be very precise with like dodging some of these lasers. And we're just gonna take that one a little bit slow because we spawned a laser weird there. But we didn't die. That's the important part, and now we'll probably die.
Yeah, there are definitely certain things about this run where it can't be understated just how difficult it is and how easy he made that screen look. I probably spent an hour there the first time that I ever played it.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. We're entering kind of like one of the more infamous screens. It's Blue Planet. The Blue Planet is notoriously awful. There's like an auto-scroller that's just brutally difficult in hard mode. And it's not technically RNG, but if you start making mistakes, it becomes RNG really quickly. And then it becomes a nightmare to deal with. So we rescued this little robot guy. His name is Blinky. He's our friend for a lot of the run. He's got a small hitbox, and he can destroy these ice blocks. So he's not really super useful, but he is useful because you get him. And later on in the stage, you unlock a girl named Jenny. She's the one that's like captive right now on this planet. So we have these Battletoad snakes. I'm pretty sure Konami just like straight up ripped them from Battletoads, but that's okay. But yeah, coming up, you'll see it's like a 50-second auto scroller, and it is ridiculously bad. So if we can one-shot it, that would be ideal. This is where most, like 99% of my resets are. So yeah, this is. If you have anything you want to say at this point, please feel free to go ahead, because talking and doing this section is just a nightmare.
Absolutely. We will actually get to a donation that just came in a short time ago. Donating to get the donation reader to read a donation on my brother's run, so he can have a donation during his run while trying to get the donation reader for the marathon, which is accepting donations for charity, to say donation and as many times as I can in a single donation. Well, it's still making sense. Also, the donation goes to David's choice. I will donate another $5 if the donation reader can read all these donations in this donation message.
I think that was considered harassment, actually.
And I also consider it a free $5 for Extra Life.
Alright, thank you very much for that.
Thank you so much for that donation.
Alright, well, it worked. We got through Blue Planet. That's the scariest screen. We one-shot it, so I will take that.
I was so happy to see that while reading that absolutely bizarre tongue twister.
Yeah, same. I will take that. Get in there, Blinky! Okay. Alright, you know what? I'll take that. This is not a screen where we don't care. Okay, so this alligator actually has a ridiculous amount of health. He almost has enough health to best the end boss, actually. So he is a mash fest, so 1 second here.
And it's something where it's a really interesting rhythm too, because you're having to deal with the way that it is that he's shooting. So you have to dodge what it is that he's shooting, but also making sure that you're aware of the platforms that it is that he's freezing below you, because if you wind up getting frozen under them, you're done. Like, it's just, everything about this is awful, and you have to maintain a pretty rigorous mash. So that's second try, like, that's great.
Yeah, it's pretty painful. He's got 160 health. I think the end boss has like a 220 or something like that. So he is just like a beefy tank of like beefy proportions. And why? Nobody knows. Like, I guess it was like the level design or whatever, but he has a lot of health. 1 damage is equal to like 1 shot, so you basically need to mash 160 times there, so it's just not really a fun section. So we are entering the red planet. If you ever wanted to bootleg Bucky, this is the planet to play. There's not really a whole lot that makes like red planet hard in terms of like an anti-piracy deterrent. So I think for the most part, like if you ever wanted to try hard mode and then you wanted to try red planet, it's doable. Like you could probably beat this one. What's special about red planet is it is one of 2 death warps in the entire game. We also switched to this girl here. And die, apparently in a fiery pit. But we switched to the girl because she's absolutely broken in the speedrun. She has the most damage output out of all characters, I believe! Okay, Blinky. And she basically does like 3 damage per second on her like ball thing, which is actually very slippery to control. But what's special about Red Planet is there's actually an auto-scroller that's like almost 1.5 minutes or something, but there is death warps in this game that, for whatever reason, I don't know why, and I won't understand or try to understand why, but if you die, we can't make it. Yeah, it actually it skips the auto-scrollers if you die in a very specific way. So I will 100, whoa, Blinky, Blinky! I will 100% take that.
Blinky, please!
Please, dude. Okay, whatever,
Blinky!
Yo, we just rescued him. He's like sabotaging the entire team with that jumping.
Blinky!
Alright, so it's actually Blinky's job to set up the death warp here, so hopefully he jumps and flies a little bit better. And he did. So if you die transitioning into a scream like that, you actually skip, for whatever reason, the auto-scroller. So we just skipped like a minute and 30 section, and you can do this twice in the speedrun. So you can see the power of Jenny there, just immediately dead.
The spirit bomb is really difficult to control, so that's easier, like way more difficult than it looks, especially some of the later kills. So.
Yes, it's actually very, very, very difficult to control that ball. I think it was meant by design though, like the whole rest of this game controls very beautifully. So I think it was a very intentional design to make it actually overpowered, but at the same time really difficult to control. So these worms are actually almost like a 3-frame window to manipulate properly, so they're a little bit dicey. And this screen is also pretty crazy. Nope, nope, we caught it. Oh no, we didn't. So yeah, you have to like swap between everybody in this screen very, very specifically. No, that's gonna kill me again. Okay, we're good.
Do we have time for a real quick donation?
Absolutely, go right ahead.
Donation read well by the amazing donation reader. Donation goes to the donation reader's choice for what I did. I'm sorry. I appreciate it. You don't have to apologize. That was pretty amazing. I like opening up to hosting to the tricky stuff. Like I appreciate that.
Me too. So this might be death. Okay, it's not death. We did get the quick kill. Yeah, so there's a second death warp there. That's where we died with Jenny. Like by the meteor asteroid thing. I'm not exactly sure what that was.
I'm not sure about you, but I felt that the quick kill that you just got was probably the toughest in the game to control properly out of any of them.
It is actually with Jenny. Yes, because you have just a couple of seconds shooting the second ball before you get like plowed by that machine thing. So you really don't have a lot of time. Plus the pixel window to set it up is like 3... I don't even know, like 3 pixels maybe at best. Like it's a very tight quick kill. So if you stand in the wrong position, you also get plowed over by that machine. So we rescued everybody, and everybody got captured again. So we're back into like this jail cell thing. We have a frame perfect thing that I will go for. There is a small clip, we'll see right here. Nope, we missed it. That was recently figured out by Ryan. He kind of like took apart the task and figured out the inputs for it, but you can like clip under those blue blocks with Blinky. Cell is actually one of the weirdest stages. It's not too hard. It would be a horrible mash fest, but luckily the first boss that we fight is actually Jenny again. So we get Jenny, and then we basically destroy like every other person because there's like some kind of brainwashing device thing going on. And Jenny again has like 160 health here. This jump right here is I think like a 3-frame window, so jumping over that laser is actually kind of tight. And then mashing again is not fun. So I actually think this is like one of the worst boss fights just because of the mash. Killing her optimally, you actually kill her right in the middle of this jail cell thing. So that was actually a pretty good kill in terms of mashing.
I wish I could see it, but Twitch's app has told me that I need to view this on a different app. I got the purple screen on their own app.
Yeah, I've seen that message before too. It's a lovely one. So coming up, there is some pretty nasty jumps in this next screen. There's 2 in particular that are really easy to die on. The first one you have to like, oh wait, I'm a liar, we're not here yet. So that's not here. We have to kill this guy instead. So we're gonna save Willy. This is who was in the green planet, or by green planet I mean yellow planet, because commentary is impossible during this game. And I've said many times, I've been a very vocal proponent that Willy has probably like the fattest head of all of NES gaming. His hitbox is gigantic on his head, and he will kill us with his fat head. like if we're not careful in some sections. Literally watermelon head, like actually watermelon cranium. So this section is a bit of a tight jump, and we got the first one. And this is the section I was talking about, and that's the second jump, so we're good.
Funny aside, one of the people in chat said that Willy is me as a kid.
Alright, so there's the 3 pixel window, and we got it. So if you got anything else you want to say or pitch, this is again an auto scroller where there's a 3 pixel window where you basically stand here for almost 2 minutes. So.
While we're going through this, and we will be going through it for a little while here, a reminder that on top of the donations going to an incredible cause with Extra Life, and it should be no secret as to how wonderful the cause is and all of the impact that it's made and the millions upon millions of dollars that it's made. But on top of that good cause, you also get to start looking at incentives as well. There's some really, really cool ones. There's some wonderful sort of donation battles in a sense where you're going to be picking some soundtracks like Encrypt of the Necrodancer, but then there's also different things like, say, Sekiro. You get to change the ending of the game, which I actually prefer the ending that it would change to. So you know what, I'm gonna hint at that. There's no problem, and a little bit of selfishness here after I read that very complicated donation. Plus, there's also some other really cool ones from, say, like Slurpy Ninja himself in his own marathon doing Mega Man versus Proto Man in Mega Man 9, which is either of those characters an incredible watch. Very different runs, really, really cool. So you love to see that. So definitely take a look at those incentives and see what it is that you want to put some money towards, because there's some really cool stuff that, you know, already just with a stacked marathon, you wind up getting to make it just a little bit more fun with some cool stuff there.
Awesome, that was literally perfectly timed. We're through the boring! Why am my brain really wants to say bottle auto-scroller. Boring auto-scroller.
If you need more time, just let me know.
Yeah, maybe you can just like commentate the rest of the run now. I don't know why my brain is trying to say bottle. Okay, well, we made it out of cell. Everyone that was kidnapped is unkidnapped and this time permanently rescued, so they are free. So in terms of this next stage, this stage is like really short, both in the speedrun. It has a couple of nasty screens in hard mode. Also, it's one of the easier screens, or like one of the easier sections, I would say, in hard mode. There's really only like one screen coming up, and it has a bunch of bugs in it. And it's this screen right here. This jump, I think, is like 2 pixels or something like that. The very first one here. So lining up all this is actually a little bit scary, but otherwise I think the rest of the stuff. There's also, I'm pretty sure, like a frame perfect laser coming up. Or a very close to frame perfect laser. But we want to stop in this section right here. And there's a green bug that just appeared on the far right of the screen, and then we wait for him to go down, and then we should be able to just kind of like sneak through here without dying. Otherwise, the bugs are very, very much in our face, and we just immediately die there. So Deadeye has a slug on his head. Okay. So this is one of the sections that Willy, his giant head, might kill us. Okay, we got the laser. He didn't get killed. Life is good. It's very possible you can jump into like those spikes with Willy's head. And Deadeye is such a cool design, but he's not really used in the speedrun that often. Very unfortunately. So, coming up, we have probably the hardest boss, I would say casually. Like, whenever I see somebody stream this or try it out for the first time, they spend a lot of time on this boss. And this is a fairly tight quick kill as well. We want to wait for this thing to destroy and then just immediately push up charge so it destroys some of those missiles. And then keep the ball relatively relatively low, sorry, so it destroys those missiles, but still kills, obviously, and damages the first part.
That's way, way, way harder than that little
Yes.
that ball is really difficult to control, so to get that to hover that tightly is really impressive.
Yes, it is a nightmare. Okay, so this is actually one of the hardest jumps, I think. Okay, this jump right here is actually probably one of the hardest jumps, I think, in the run. It's very, very, very easy to die here. And it comes in probably one of the worst sections overall. I would consider Magma. Okay, I waited way too long here. I would consider Magma probably the worst overall section. Outside of maybe Escape. Escape, like the following scene right now, like the following level is probably one of the worst levels, but this one is like super bad for a lot of different ways too. This screen in particular is like extremely problematic. It is not necessarily a hard screen, but it is probably the longest screen in Bucky. So if you choose to die here very stupidly or accidentally, you probably lose like over close to a minute. So, of course, dude, commentary curse. So it's just not a good screen. And
No, we just chose to die. That's a manip. Any time that we have a death, it's just a manip for something else. Just ignore the fact that he talked about RNG being, not really a thing in this run, and it's about execution. It's a manip.
Yeah, no, this is second worst screen that you can die on. There is, like, I guess if you take it like super slow, it's not super hard in terms of strats and stuff, but these lasers also have like pretty unforgiving hitboxes where you can get caught in something like that, and it's really easy to accidentally die, especially up here. So we're gonna actually not die and take that save. What are you doing, Toad? Okay, thank you. Usually that Toad's not that far over. So sandwiched in between a really hard screen is probably the easiest screen in this game. Speedrun or casual wise, all you gotta do is jump over these guys with Bucky. I guess in like normal mode you can just like tank through them, but they actually take a huge amount of damage. But this screen is ironically one of the easiest, I think, in the entire game. Stuck in between one of the hardest levels just in default. So coming up here, this screen and the following screens are pretty painful. That jump sucks, so we're lucky we didn't like clip our head there. And we're gonna die if we just stand on that platform because we don't know how to cycle properly. So I'm glad we caught that before dying. And then same here. This is like the only safe strat that I intentionally take is on that one platform. Otherwise it is ridiculous. I'm pretty sure here you have to be like super quick with shooting 3 lasers there, like almost to the frame. Same here, you have to like shoot 6 shots very, very precisely to make sure that both of those Toads die. Otherwise, when they cycle around, these lasers will kill you. This screen is actually pretty easy. You just wait and then you jump, and then you have to switch very quickly to the boy again, and then also fire like 3 bullets really quickly. Otherwise, the way that this room cycles, you'll immediately die after 2 cycles. So I'm gonna die again here, you'll see. You have to get, like, this is, I think, like, the pivotal anti-piracy screen. If you don't do it properly, I'm 100% sure like they put this screen in so people couldn't beat the game back then. It's like you have no room at all. Like you just will die. And I cycled this completely wrong. I have to be down here. So there we go.
Do you have time for a quick donation now?
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
Okay, so we have a donation from Sean Stokes. Not sure what's more impressive, this run, or that Dave, for the first time ever that I have ever known, actually referred to every character by name. Good luck with the rest of the run, Dave.
Yeah, people... okay, we got through. People slog me on my own channel because I run Tiny Toons and like Tiny Toons on NES, but also Bucky, and I have a pretty bad tendency to just call him like Duck, or in Tiny Toons like the cat and stuff. So we're not really great with like proper animal names. But we tried, okay?
Sometimes that's all you can ask.
Yes. Okay, so this is one of the instances of like partial RNG. This can shoot low, and it did shoot low. Duck! Okay, so it needs to shoot high twice now. It's gonna shoot low again. Please, okay, please stop shooting low. Please, okay. Okay, it wasn't meant to be.
Boss, please.
Yes. So if it shoots low like that, so there is a safe spot in this like lower left corner. But if it shoots low like that, it's no longer safe. You have to move, otherwise you get killed. So this whole boss kill relies on basically the top shot shooting high right now. Oh my goodness, it's again shooting low. Just shoot high. Nope. Dude, whatever. Whatever, Magma boss. Okay, there we go. Now it'll die. So.
Marathon luck is, the best luck.
Yes, it just really... It didn't want.
I'm impressed we haven't heard that I haven't seen that before, because that's usually a marathon classic.
So yeah, coming into the final section, this level also is a very big pain. The checkpoint is brutally bad. In casual, like in normal mode, you would never ever experience, because you can like tank through all of this like smoke of plume or whatever, and you never have to worry about anything. But in hard mode, if you die, like the checkpoint is actually like almost like a minute and 20 into the screen, and coming up there's like these little green kind of like triangular ships, and it is very difficult because they automatically spawn on the screen and they track you. So I'll be putting Willy and his gigantic head into various positions to make all the shots. Like up here you'll see they all shoot this way, right? And same here, we want to like bait it going down, and then same here. And then coming up here is where it gets dicey, because we have a bunch of ships like this, and past this last smoke is where the checkpoint actually is. So if we died at any point there, we literally lose like over a minute, and this is the worst death you can take in the entire speedrun, sorry. And of course it's on the final level, where if you're on a good pace, it just immediately ruins everything. So.
Yeah, what better place to have a run ender than at the very end? Oh, like that's the way that you need to have them.
Dude, and there's like 3 in this level. That's like the best part about this level. So this section is actually pretty free. This section is nice. We like this section, but every other section is kind of, again, brutally difficult here, because if you die, it's just not fun. So I
need to point out a comment here quickly before we keep moving along that I think is an important one.
Sure.
People should donate for the donation reader to read donations. Just saying. I agree with that. I
agree too. So coming up is this boss. He is one of the worst things in hard mode. Again, in normal, he's absolutely free. Probably one of the easiest bosses actually in normal, but what makes him absolute nightmare in hard mode is he has like these 2 kind of like pillar sections, which once you break apart, he starts spinning. And after he starts spinning, once the second one is broken, he is essentially RNG, like complete RNG. So he can have 3 shots on the screen at the same time. And if any point in time you die, there's no like boss checkpoints or anything like that, so you have to do the boss over. So as soon as a shot leaves the screen, he can shoot again. And he becomes very hard, because you have to keep like all of your shots in kind of like your peripheral at the same time, like there, not go down and die. But he is one of the worst things in hard mode, because he can just absolutely shoot a bullet like in the corner like that and just kill you. So he is annoying. Oh, like that. See, he tried, man.
He's giving it the old college try there. He's trying to give you a rough time there.
Yeah. Easily, there we go, for free. Easily, this is again. And you think that's bad, it gets even worse. So.
It does.
Yes.
It really does.
So we have a toad ship coming up, and just so happens that the quick kill on this toad ship is a 2-pixel quick kill. And if you fail it, you lose a minute as well. So it's really not a great section either.
It's a long, scary minute too. Like, it's not just a minute loss, it's awful.
Yes. So this whole final section is just, again, ridiculous. So these turrets that'll spawn in a second, they're just shooting right here, really want to kill at least 2. If we kill 2, we're kind of safe going into like the next phase. If we don't kill 2, we're in a lot of trouble, and we didn't kill 2. Because in hard mode, all 3 turrets will shoot us underneath the ship, and it's very impossible to survive that, or very hard to survive that anyway. So coming up here, there is a 2-pixel kill. I think I'm okay. It might happen. Oh, it didn't happen. So we have to kill the ship the old-fashioned way. So if we don't kill this other turret and then hide out here, oh, we're dead. What? What? Wow, we lived.
Wow.
You see, we lived.
Sure
no,
that. Go on.
No, I was gonna say we lived because that wasn't Lily's head. Like there was a direct correlation there. My Blinky's small head for the win. You have no idea.
All this was just a stall tactic because wanted donations to come in, so the donation reader could read donations about donations. So that's all it was. That's all it was.
Absolutely.
That was a very nice recovery.
So you can literally see how bad this section is. Like if you miss the first cycle, you have to wait pretty long. It's like another minute. And if you die going for the quick kill, you also have to waste like 40 seconds. So it's pretty bad altogether. It's just a bad situation. So unfortunately no quick kill. We had to wait probably an extra minute there for it to cycle back around, but we didn't die, so I guess I'll take that. And then coming up is the final boss. He's actually not that bad. We actually used the kid, even though we've kind of given the kid a bit of a hard time because his laser is stronger than Bucky's. It does a little bit more damage, but Bucky's does not. But the benefit of Bucky is he can shoot backwards like that. And obviously the kid can only shoot forwards, so time should be somewhat soon. This guy, even though he's the end boss, doesn't have a ton of health, so we should be probably dead here. He should be dead here anyway. Oh no, we're dead! I spoke these. Well, I guess we have to fight him again. Like, literally the most free part of Escape. But
he has a cool hat.
We can appreciate that. He would, I bet you anything, if I go back and like count the energy that he had left, probably 1 or 2 shots away. Like
that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Yeah. But you can see
you're
why.
Gonna die on the fight. It's not like right away. It's gotta be when it's about to end.
No, absolutely yes. Like, no, but you okay? There we go. So you can see why this run is ridiculously bad because like even one death you can lose like over a minute. So it's incredibly not safe for marathons. But I will take almost 7 minutes under considering how bad this can sometimes go.
Huge congrats on that. That was hugely impressive, like especially given the game that you were playing. I think aside from the intentional deaths, I think that was 8 deaths total, which given what you're up against, that's really well done. So huge congrats for that.
See, I wish I could say that was intentional because I actually watched Celeste this morning when the marathon kicked off. And they collected 8 strawberries because it was Slurpathon's 8th anniversary. So I could be like, oh yeah, man, we died 8 times intentionally.
You could have lied. No one would have called you out on that.
No, I'm a fraud. I'm a fraud.
I would have told you that. Would have gone and talked about how you said that before the run. That was the plan all along. You proved it.
Yeah, that's exactly why we died in like the last 20 seconds of the boss fight. Like, we wanted to make it 8. And apparently, I don't know how to stop the timer, so that was time, but yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's all she wrote, so thank you very much for having me. I'm always very grateful. Like, Bucky is such a cool game. I really hope more people run it, even if it's normal mode. Hard mode is just kind of like icing on the cake for me. But yeah, give it a shot if you're interested. If not, thank you guys for all having me. It's always fun to run this in a marathon setting when there's like no resets. But
Are there any sort of shoutouts or places that people can go if they're interested in starting this game?
yeah, on SRC I made a Discord in the last like a week, so it's actually very new. Bucky's Discord should have existed like 3 years ago, but
so shout outs to the new Discord. You can be one of the founding members.
Literally, yeah. There's like 10 people in there already, but like that's like our entire community. For such a great game, it's like very sadly a small community. But yeah, thank you, chat. And again, thank you guys for having me. Very much appreciated. It was very fun.